In this video, I'm going to be comparing the firmware from Oberheim, which is the 1.09 in my case. This is the original firmware with the Gligli 1.16 version and the Tauntek 1.20 version. Even though these two have different version numbers, these are the latest versions from the authors at this time of writing. The Matrix firmware I have is a little older. The latest from Oberheim was 1.11, but for this video it's mostly irrelevant. We're just going to be going over the problems with the Oberheim firmware in general. So this is a stereo ping matrix programmer. It said in the manual, try the different firmwares, there's pros and cons, and I thought I would have to try them, and if I tried them, well, here's a video of them. So here we go. There's an option to change up some optimizations for either. So you can see here's the Tauntek 1.20, here's the Gligli 1.16, and here is the Oberheim 1.11, which is just going to be compatible for the 1.09 for all we care about. So the biggest issue with the Oberheim firmware is that it lags significantly when it sees MIDI messages. So things like filter changes just makes it crawl to a halt. And that is really bad when you're trying to play notes. You'll see what I mean. First of all, when I turn this thing on, watch this screen. Just as an aside. See how it said 109? Let's try that one more time. It said 109. That tells you the firmware version. If it says 1.16, you probably have Gligli. If it says 1.20, probably Tauntek. Good to know in case you're shopping around. So let's try this thing. I'm going to play some notes with a social entropy engine. I'm going to turn this knob to show you what the issue is with the Oberheim Matrix-1000. You get the idea. It's really bad. If you're programming it and you're making a patch that you're not going to change, okay, it's forgivable. But when you're doing it in real time, that is simply not going to happen. Especially when it stops playing notes like that. Serious issue. So the Gligli mod attempts to improve on that. Let's turn on the synth with EEPROM installed. You'll see it says 1.16 here. And we're going to set the programmer to 1.16 and then play with the filter a little bit. It's significantly better. However, there are still issues with other parameters, and I'll show you what that looks like. It's still there, just in other places. Now mind you, it's significantly better with the filter. The filter at this point is not a problem at all. However, and I'm trying not to play bias into this, but the Tauntek firmware seems to take everything the Gligli mod does and steps it up just a little bit. So I'm setting this to 1.20. If you notice when this turned on, it also said 1.20. In addition, when this thing plays, watch for the screen when I turn the controls. Look at that. You have visual updates on what's going on. Good to know if you're receiving MIDI or what have you, but let's play with it. So that's my overview. There's other controls, but they behave approximately the same, some other weird stuff. It seems like it's a little more responsive with the Tauntek with the same overall kind of issue. There you go. Hope you enjoyed.